Good morning. Hopefully you can hear me, see me. Everything's good. Good morning, Rick. Good morning to all. Having some difficulties here, but what's new? Alrighty, so today we're going to go over what's happening here. Which there's a lot to go over. We'll also be going over a few letters, quick, short letters, and all of this, I don't know what you call it, manosphere shit. Am I allowed to say shit here? I got some issues here with my hang on a second, give me 1 second. Now I think we should be okay. Well, maybe. There we go. All right, we're good. We're good to go. You guys can hear me all right, see me okay? A little bit too. Right there. All right. Sound should be good, video should be good. We should be good to go here. Anyway, today we're going to go over some news, some things happening here, some letters, and also the manosphere. Which, whatever. I just am going to go over it for a few particular reasons, and I'll get into them when I get into the subject. But right now, I just want to thank everybody for coming in. And big shout outs to everybody who supports the channel financially and otherwise. Keep coming back. Sometimes we have some good stuff here. Today we're in Bonkapi, one of my usual haunts. And as of 8:55 a.m., 34.14, excuse me, baht to the dollar. 88 degrees, high 101 Fahrenheit, low of 83, and right now the feel like temperature is 96. 59% humidity, partly cloudy for the next 3 days, and then it will be raining supposedly for the next week, and the air quality is 91. So that should set the, now you know the weather. I don't know why I got into this, but like I said, we're going to talk about this manosphere and gynocentrism and red pill shit. To me, it's all a bunch of shit. They're all trying to make money from it. I mean, I'm talking about it, so what does that say? But let's get into the news here. Yesterday was a holiday, for those who don't know. I didn't even know yesterday. My wife told me. Royal plowing ceremony, start of the rice farming season, and this takes place all over Southeast Asia. But yesterday was a holiday in Thailand, and lots of holidays here. All right, now, without getting too far into the politics of what's going on here, I saw that Thaksin Shinawatra is still talking about coming back here. I hope he comes back here and gets arrested. That's my own personal viewpoint. I want him to get arrested. Come back. The gall that this guy has. He has the gall to think that although he was convicted of corruption, he thinks, oh, well, it's all just a big plot against me, and and I'm going to come back, and my party is number 2 in the elections, so I'll be able to come back. We'll work it all out. And the people who won the election, the Move Forward Party, is saying this is nonsense, it's not related. Whatever he wants to do, he can do. And he's saying whatever will be, will be. Who knows if he'll really come back. If he comes back, he's an idiot, in my opinion. He doesn't have to come back. But you know, the draw of coming back to your own country is very strong. So maybe he feels like, well, I'll come back and they'll be easy on me, and you know, I'll pay a big fine and I'll be okay. But to me, he needs to be arrested. He's found guilty. There would be no legitimate, the law here would not be considered legitimate. Not that it is 100% here now, but if he were to come back and then they just go, oh, well, it was a big misunderstanding, we should let him come back. I mean, like I said, the balls on this guy. And I understand he's filthy rich. I mean, I understand as much as I can without being filthy rich myself. But the balls on him that really think that he can come back. And he talks on social media all the time. He says he wants to take care of his grandchildren. He could take care of them with money. He's got people to take. There's plenty of people to take care of his grandkids. They don't need him. The guy's been gone for 15 years. I still don't like him. I never did like him. And I still don't like him. And I don't like his wife or his daughter either, just because of that she follows the same lines that he does. Anyway, I don't want to get into it too much about the politics, because we already know how I feel about politics. It's not my favorite subject. Governments are not my favorite subject. What's going on here? I got all kinds of, I got issues. Let's go. Carnival Chronicles, good morning. Everybody, good morning. Let's see if I can get this going here. There we go. All right, now I should be copacetic. Can you guys hear me all right? I got a mic on. So yesterday, like I said, was a holiday, and there's a lot going on. I think I've been in the air conditioning too much. In and out, in and out. You know, in the house, got the air on because it's bloody hot outside. You go outside, it's hot. Come inside, you go to the gym, it's cold. You go outside, it's hot again. So I got a little bit of a sore throat. We're just going to talk about some nice things, or some decent things that are happening here, or that have happened. One of them is the construction worker, 61-year-old construction worker, Thai construction worker. So he's like me, 61 years old. He had a dream, and apparently he had this dream, and he won a staggering, they call it staggering, 12 million baht. What is that? $350,000. I'd take it. So this guy, Samani Pukjai, he purchased a winning ticket based on his dream's suggestion. No, it's a she. Samani Pukjai is a she. Well, I can't do anything about their dishwasher. This is how they are here, you know, noise pollution and all. But anyway, the Thai grandmother plans to use the money for her 5 grandchildren's tuition fees. There's plenty of money there for tuition fees. She had dreamt of an elderly person instructing her to take 8 eggs and rice to an altar. Based on this dream, she deciphered the winning numbers. The older person in the dream represented the number 9. The number of eggs represented the number 8, and the circular shape of the eggs donated the number 0. With these interpretations, she purchased 2 lottery tickets with the number 132903. Her main hope was to win the last 3 digits, which would have been sufficient to cover the tuition for her 5 grandchildren. However, to her surprise, she hit the jackpot and secured the first prize in the lottery, worth 12 million baht. Somebody intends to use some of the winnings to donate towards the construction of a temple, provide for her children, and settle her outstanding debts. Also in the lottery news, a market fish vendor revealed he scooped yesterday's Thai lottery thanks to a dream he had about his car. Amnat Charan went to the local police station with his wife to confirm his winning lottery ticket today. A dream told him to bet on his car registration number, 132903. It's the same one. He was not only the lucky winner. A Puthai Party Ministry of Parliament, Udom Kanmuang, also celebrated winnings in yesterday's Thai lottery, scooping an incredible 24 million baht. It's close to $1 million. He had 4 matching tickets. A Thai Buddhist monk also, I should have got a ticket. All these people are winning. A Thai Buddhist monk also won the lottery yesterday, scooping a 6 million baht jackpot in Thailand's national lottery draw. He says he will spend the money on making repairs at his temple in Nakhon Ratchasima province. All right, so there you go. If you're feeling lucky, get yourself a lottery ticket here. Also, a rare golden venom spitting cobra, also known by its scientific name, the Sumatran spitting cobra, was found in a village in Nakhon Nayok province. This snake was 1.2 meters in length, generated significant interest among villagers who gathered to view the mesmerizing creature. I don't know, they all gathered around. They caught the snake. Let's see here. They caught the snake. Upon learning of the potential threat posed by the venomous snake, villagers decided to safely contain the cobra and later release it back to nature to avoid causing harm to the community. How about causing harm to the snake? I think we're just talking about snakes. Where's the village? They don't have the village. It's a spitting cobra. So I don't know how they got close to it without, the thing didn't spit on them apparently. We were just talking about it yesterday, about snakes. Or maybe it was day before yesterday. So they're out there. But this one was gold. It was a golden snake. My theory on snakes, especially here, is if you see a snake, consider it poisonous. If it's not poisonous, fine. But consider it poisonous until you know for absolutely sure it's not poisonous. Anyway, let me see. Let me read one of these letters here because I thought this was pretty good. This is from, what is it, Patia Mail. Yeah, this is from the Patia Mail from, I don't know, about a month ago. The demon drink again. Now this chick that I guess it's a chick, that they write to, her name is Hillary. Horrible name. Sorry, honey. Gotta be the worst name ever. One of the worst names. That and Alexandria, that's another bad name. That and Nancy, as in Pelosi, all those names, Maxine, they all strike me the wrong way. Oh man. No coffee today. Hot tea. Every time my husband goes out with me to dinner or even a pub, he drinks too much. This would not be too bad if he did this quietly, but he is a most aggressive drunk and picks fights with people all the time. Some pubs have even barred him, which leads to even more brawls. Even that would be tolerable if he knew how to fight, but he just brawls in a drunken manner and always comes off second best. So the guy goes out and gets shit-faced and then gets his ass beat. Try not to fight when you're drunk, because no matter what kind of fighter you are, most guys can't fight when they're drunk. Really drunk, they can't fight. Even if they can fight, they can't. To be honest, Hillary, he is hard enough to put up when he is sober, but in his cups he is dreadful. It is really a case where you can only take him anywhere twice, the second time to apologize. This is doubly difficult for me, as I do not drink alcohol. Can you imagine that you're married, she doesn't drink, and the husband is a drunk? I mean, match made in heaven. Not really, I'm joking, but my internet is extremely slow right now. All right, let me go over here. As I do not drink alcohol, mainly because someone has to be sober enough to drive the car home. Especially now the police have the roadside checking machines. What suggestions have you got, Hillary? There must be something I can do, surely. This problem has gone on for 5 years. Well, first of all, she chose to be with the guy. Was he a drunk when he met her? Maybe they need to have a little intervention. This is my own assessment. They need to have an intervention. She needs to learn how to fight for him, or he needs to learn how to fight, or she needs to be a drunk too, so they can both get beat up together. So this is her response. Dear Amanda, this is a common problem, so there's lots you can do. I don't know if it's a common problem. Is it? First off, you could send him to a gym for a boxing course so he can learn to defend himself a little better. Most guys, it's going to take them 6 months to a year before they learn how to do anything, unless they're a big dude and they just learn a couple of basics and they know how to throw a punch better. But a lot of guys, it takes them 6 months to a year to learn how to just throw a punch properly. Though if your man gets quite legless with the drinking, perhaps that wouldn't work either. How strong is your relationship? You could refuse to go out with him. That's a good idea. If he is intending on drinking, which sounds like all the time, you could take up drinking yourself and try beating him up. That's another option. However, I think that after 5 years of this, you should be able to take a stronger stance and tell him to shape up or ship out. Exactly. Who wants to be with somebody who's a freaking alcoholic? I've been with one, and I dumped her because of that. Seriously. She would get angry. And the thing that I noticed about her more than anybody, well, not anybody, I mean, I've met a couple of people in passing, but she was the kind who, she would have 2 or 3 beers and you could just, she just reeked of alcohol. It like sunk into every pore. So she could say, oh, I've only had 1 or 2 beers, and maybe she did, but she just would reek. The booze, for some reason, she couldn't assimilate the booze as well as some other people. She couldn't handle it. So nobody has to put up with this sort of nonsense anymore, or ever. Don't you either. Does he drink beer or champagne? If it's the latter, and it's a good vintage, I might even take on his rehabilitation for you. It's pretty funny. Yeah, and nobody needs to get involved in this kind of bullshit. Listen, when you meet a chick, if she's a drunk, get rid of her. I'm talking about if you go out if you go out 3 times with her and she gets drunk off her ass 3 times. I'm not talking about you go out one night, then the next night you go out, then it's like you're kind of nervous because tonight's the night you're probably gonna bang. It's the first time she needs to loosen up a little. You need to loosen up a little. So you tie one on, you drink a little tequila, you go back, everything's copacetic, and then you knock it out. But then after that, if every time you go out you're getting drunk, it's just not it's not good. That shit is bad for you anyway, the booze, you know? That's why I don't drink anymore, because it doesn't do anything positive for you. You want to do something, drink a little bit of wine, a glass or two of wine every night. That's supposedly good for you. But getting shit-faced every night is not going to be, is not going to work. Yeah. Listen, I gave Chucky a hard time the other day because he wrote, I was stretching out. I was on Facebook and I had this photo of me that this woman had taken, the yoga instructor, and I was stretching out. I had my legs open, and he's like, oh, the daddy bear is getting in touch with his feminine side. And one thing that really irritates me about Chuck sometimes, and I told him this, is that everything is tied to his sexuality. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about what goes on in his sexual life or his personal life. I mean, I hope he's happy. That's really all I care about. Are you happy? Yes. Okay. I don't need to know every detail about, your little boyfriend or your little girlfriend. I don't need to know it. Who cares? And as far as the dick insider, Jesus, has that joke got any freaking older? There's dust on that fucking joke now, Gennaro. Jesus, come up with something new. I hate a drunk chick. I don't like drunk dudes. I don't like drunk chicks, because when drunk dudes come up to me, I told a story before about the guy that I beat him up. He was in Terme. This is quite some time ago. And what a pain in the ass this guy was to me. It just caused me all kinds of trouble. I think he was from Norway. Denmark, maybe. I saw him in Nana, in the disco. He's walking around. He's one of these guys, he bumps into me. On purpose, of course. Bumps me. And I'm thinking to myself, I know this guy did that on purpose. But I'm like, all right, no harm, no foul. I'm okay. Didn't think anything. He did it again. And I said, hey, what's the problem, dude? Watch where you're going. And he got all mouthy. And I said, I tell you what, because I was not in a good mood or something that night. I just feel like beating his ass. I said, why don't we go outside? Which was not the brightest move. We start going outside, and all his buddies follow him. And they all got, there's like 4 or 5 of them. And all these chicks are like, no. You fight 1-to-1, man-to-man. He didn't want to do that. Then I saw him again, and then I saw him a third time in Terme. And he bumped into me again. Of course, he did it purposely. And at that point, I know I was in a bad mood that night, for whatever reason. I was not in a great mood. I was just kind of like irritable because there's too many people, too much smoke, whatever it was. Whatever it was bugging me that day. Maybe it was just him. And then he got so close to me that he spit on me. And that was the last straw. He's like, what are you going to do? You're not going to do anything. And then next thing I know, the spit got on me. And that was it. And I lit him up. Smashed him. And I'm sure that, I know he was drunk. And the thing is that this is the root of many, many problems. Booze. You go out to a bar, guys get in fights. They wouldn't get in a fight if they weren't drunk. I don't know if you guys ever saw this, but there's a video clip. Are you saying that I'm in a foul mood all the time, Gennaro? Jesus Christ, you give me no credit, man. Even my wife doesn't say that. And she lives with me. But there was this guy in a bar. And he was like some broker, like stockbroker or something, white collar office kind of guy. He's in this bar, he's all bebopping around thinking he's hot shit, and he's talking shit to people. Not in a really bad way, but just kind of like, being obnoxious. which when I get drunk, I tend not to be obnoxious. Because I just don't want to be that way. I don't like being drunk because I always feel like I'm not 100%. And it just happened that this guy who was a UFC fighter was in the bar, and the guy he has he's got a little bit of an attitude. You know, he doesn't want to put up with any shit. And he walked by the guy, and he bumped into the guy, and the guy said something. And he turned around, boom, one punch, the guy was out. That was it. Just hit him one time, the guy was knocked out. And I was like, all right. You know, I don't know, you might have to pay the guy off or something. It wasn't all that long ago, but I thought it was interesting. Anyway, if you got somebody that you're with that's a drunk, either get them help or pull the plug. They can't help themselves if they don't want to help, you know, if they don't want to help themselves. They can't be helped if they can't help themselves. Excuse me. All right, here's another letter here. Dear Hillary, what do you suggest should be done with what I am sure is a wandering husband? This is a kind of typical, probably because of the unending opportunities that there seems to be for the men folk here in Thailand. I think it's in Patna. But none for the women, it seems. That's just bullshit. There's opportunities for women. But, you know, you might have to go with a Thai guy, or you might go with some guy from, who knows? It's like to say that there's no opportunity for women is bullshit. I hate this kind of shit. It must be a temptation to wander. I got no temptation anymore. Honestly, I don't give a shit. I see all kinds of chicks bending over in yoga. You know, you can basically see everything. I don't care. What does it matter? At the end of the day, does it matter? Really? All that matters is if you're gonna do it, you better be sure that maybe if you knock them up, that they're the kind of girl you want to knock up. That's my own opinion at this juncture. When I was younger, I didn't feel that way. I didn't have that kind of control. Back then it was, they looked good and they were, you know, sexy, then all right, it's time to jump on them. So I understand, but nowadays, really, you need to think about what you're doing because it can get you in a whole lot of trouble and fast. Even here. Listen, there are women in these classes, they're 50, 45, 40, 30, 60, and they're in fantastic condition. I mean, I'm like, holy shit. You wouldn't think that they were that old. So that's why I say, you know, go to a gym. And, you know, don't think about it for them. Don't think you're going there for them. Go for yourself. Anyway, let me finish this. It must be a temptation to wander. I have caught several of my friends' husbands out on more than one occasion at some beer bars, and I am sure that mine is just as shameful in his leisure hours. Any idea, Hillary, on keeping up with the wanders? So the guy's not allowed to go to a bar? I mean, really? Man can't go to a bar? Since when? You know what this lady needs? She needs a dose of the fuck off. Honey, I'm going where I want to go. If you don't like it, you don't trust me, piss off. That's how it works. So the girl writes back, this, what's her name? Hillary. Anytime I think of the word Hillary, I think of Hillary Clinton, unfortunately. Seriously, I think you are a little off the mark, thank you, when you say you have caught these wandering husbands out at beer bars, sitting there and drinking and laughing with staff, or in flagrante delicto. What does that mean? It means you're like purposely going out and being flagrant with your activities that may be no good. In a legal term, it's used to indicate that a criminal has been caught in the act of committing an offense. Okay, that's what I thought. There's a big difference. You are also wrong when you say there's nothing for us ladies, but then perhaps the real reason for your letter was to find out where we ladies can go for laughter and libations as well. Ask the wives of the wandering husbands you follow and you will find out. My wife goes out sometimes, I don't care. You know, she goes out with her co-workers and whatever. Hey man, nothing you can do will stop them from doing something that you might not like or might think is wrong. The only thing that will stop them is themselves. which is why you need to get to know them a little bit before you decide to, you know, tie the knot, so to speak. I do have a little bit of a cold, sore throat. Okay, what were you doing wandering about the beer bars anyway? Exactly, why was she there? Because she was checking up on him to see if he's doing anything bad. If you gotta check up on somebody, then don't be with the person. Really, if you need to check up, if you need to get a private investigator, if you need somebody like me to vet them, then you need to just move on. You need to gain a little security and gain some problem-solving skills, because nothing you do is going to help. You can vet them until the cows come home. It doesn't mean they're going to be perfect. Finally, if you're worried about his wandering and not finding his way home, then get him a map. Okay. That particular girl, she's pretty hardcore fitness chick, you know. She gets into it. There's a lot of people that come in here from the gym, and there's gyms all over. This particular gym. Anyway, before I continue on, whatever you want to call her, all right? I don't give a shit. You can call me a dude, you can call me a bro, you can call me a man, I mean, I don't care. Doesn't matter. Well, here in Thailand, it's a little difficult to understand, but sometimes the girls are just friendly. And the difference is that I never try to push. I don't give a shit. That's the thing. I know that they're trouble. If they come, hey, where are you from? What is your name? And it's happened in the gym. It happens, you know, every once in a while. You know, oh, it's gonna happen. If you go long enough and you look halfway decent, and that's about all I look is halfway decent, so, you know. Magnet, I am not. Anyway, let me continue here. It's hello sexy man again. Oh yeah. Why is it when I sit down at a bar, a girl will come up and ask me, what is my name, where do I come from, whether I am here on a holiday, where am I staying, whether I am married and how many children I have and how much money do I have or how much do I earn? This list of questions seems to be the same no matter which bar I drink. These girls go to some bar girl school or what? Surely there must be other ways of striking up conversations. Maybe that's all the English they speak. I understand it, and it does get monotonous. After a while, you're like, oh shit. And it's the same with the taxi drivers. You have lady time? The other day I had some guy asking me, you have Thai wife? I said, yeah. Where's she from? Isan? I said, no, the South. Oh, is she Muslim? If she's Muslim, you can have many wives. And I'm like, fuck, I don't want many wives. Honestly. I don't want many wives. Many wives, there's many problems. Anyway, what would you prefer? The girls say, kunchu alai. You have to remember your barroom companion is having to speak to you in a foreign language. How many set phrases do you speak in foreign languages like kunmising ha? It is the same for the girls. They pick up the set phrases and go from there, and honestly, finding your name, marital status, job situation, location, dependents, and bank account details isn't such a bad way to look at whether the relationship has a future or otherwise, is it? Let's not waste time. Let's find out in the first 5 minutes. They are only doing their job as best they can. That's the thing. Listen, we're all just trying to get by. You know, that's all we're trying to do. If you think about it that way, everybody just wants to make it as long as they can and be, you know, as pleasant as they can. People don't want to get nasty all the time. They want to be pleasant. They want to be happy. And they want to make it as long as they can without shitting their pants, pissing all over themselves. You know, that kind of stuff. That's what they want. That's what I've broken life down into a very simple equation. Men and women want to make it as far as they can, as long as they can, without shitting all over themselves. Hopefully with somebody that they like, they can trust, they have somebody to talk to when they're feeling a little blue, when they don't feel so well, or whatever. That's it. And that's how it is everywhere. Now, it takes money to do that. However, some people are more money driven than others. You know, I don't know who's Doyle Brunson. I got no idea who that is. Oh, old poker player? Godfather of poker. Okay. Goodbye, Doyle. R.I.P. Anyway, listen, before I continue and I go on further and further, do me a favor, click the thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done so, join if you want to. It's only $1.99. Give me a break. If you don't have $1.99, what are you even thinking about coming to Thailand for? Seriously. You can follow me on Rumble. Go to my website, AmericanBangkok.com. You can purchase a book, one of my 2 books. Or you can get some merch. You can buy me a coffee, use the CASHAPP. You can become a sponsor on YouTube. You can become a patron, and you can follow me on social media. Mainly on Instagram. On Instagram, I put stuff up from the gym. I put some of my photos up that I've taken in the past. I haven't been concerned with taking photos lately. I don't know why. I should be, but I'm not. I only have so much time in a day. There you go. I'm too big. I'm sorry. I blocked the view. Anyway, let me get back to this before I bore myself. I don't want to hear myself talking too much. They're only doing their job as best as they can. Perhaps you are right, and there should be a Bargold School of English and deportment. Or perhaps you have been watching too many reruns of My Fair Lady. I haven't watched My Fair Lady since I was a little kid, and it was only because I didn't know what it was all about. I have no idea. I'm not his keeper. He does his own thing, lives his own life. He's a man going his own way. Let's see here. Remember, there are plenty of other places you can drink without company if it really annoys you. And that's the thing. That's why I don't go there anymore, because it bugged me so much. You know, hearing the same thing over and over again. Oh, please come inside, all that other shit. And I'm not drinking, so then what's the point of going? It was back in the day, and I would drink a little bit, and then I would, have a little fun. That's another story. Take home a bottle of chang. Pattaya has more than a few bars, Well, there was last time I looked, and I almost forgot. There is a handy pocket-sized book called English for Bar Girls. I didn't know that. Available at the next pub near you. Okay. Anyway. Yeah. I understand it's 2Q Asia. I'm not his keeper, nor am I your keeper. Guys, if you want me to read your own letters, send me one. Message me. It used to be so easy back in the day. Everybody wanted it, but I think I basically tortured people with calling them chowderhead and every name in the book that now they're scared to write me. Let's see here. Let me see something. God. What the hell is this? All right. So let's talk a little bit. Can we talk? He's probably listening, laying there in bed in his underwear. He does have a life outside of YouTube, believe it or not. Anyway, let's go on here. I don't know how much longer I can go on here. My throat is killing me. Let's see here. With all the publicity recently about crocodile parks, and you have a farm for them in Pattaya, should I take my 64-year-old mother to the animal park attractions when she comes on holiday later this year? My husband says I am worrying unnecessarily. What do you think, worried daughter? Unless she's going to stumble into the croc pit. What are you worried about? Although I don't think it's great to go to these establishments. I am so pleased to meet someone who thinks so highly of their mother, but I am with your husband. I am afraid. The likelihood of crocodile attack is very much less than her chances of being hit by a Chinese satellite falling out of the sky or being run down by a London bus. Relax. No guarantees about buses, though. Oh, God. All right, I got one more, and then I'll get into the whole, manosphere and all that kind of stuff. How do I do this? Let's see if my video, I don't know if my camera is working or it's still shaking or what the deal is with it, but it seems to be working now. All right. Not that many barista here. They used to have like 4 of them. Now there's like 1. All right. I gotta read one more letter. Oh God. Gennaro reminds me of the kind of guy where the girl, he's like Kramer. Gennaro is like Kramer. He'll come in, and as soon as he sees the girl, he'll be like, gives you the eye. Lots of people in here now. There we go. I'm not George, believe me. If anything, I'm Jerry. He's Mr. Even Steving. I'm Mr. Just Enough. Seriously. I always go, how am I going to do this? I don't know if I can. First of all, when it comes to money, I'm the same. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I'm going to have enough. Then I have just enough. I do it, but I have just enough. I don't have, I'm not like, oh yeah, I'm super lucky. I got lots of excess or anything like that. It's always like just enough. Anyway. It's all yours, buddy. That's all I'll say. Anyway, what were we going to talk about here? Lose my train of thought. Oh yeah, well the big thing now is not so much about the coup. Yeah, a coup can happen, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see because, I personally don't want military rule, but what I want doesn't matter. And I think the younger Thais now, they're pissed off. They're tired of this shit where the military is the ruling party. Now, I don't know if any of you guys saw, but was it an American guy? Yeah, an American tourist fell into a sewer. 3-meter deep sewer. He was in there, depending on where you read the story, anywhere from 4 to 7 hours. He's 36 years old, stupid American. That's all I got. Well, this is the thing. Are they doing a good job? I don't think they've done a great job in the last 10 years, but it has been stable. I think they can do a lot more. Thailand can do a lot more. It can get a lot better. And it's good, but it can get a lot better, you know. So this is what is it? Cafe Amazon in Bangkapi. Anyway, this guy, I don't know how it happened. I just, how do you fall into a sewer? Was he drunk? I don't know. The crowd gathered around while rescuers tried to help Mr. Jonathan. Well, Mr. Scott, he's a 61-year-old American who sat crouched in a 3-meter deep sewer with a ragged body covered with mud at the entrance of Soy 8 at Kepasip, Move 11. How you doing? In Chonburi. They had to cut him out. How embarrassing. They had to use a cutting machine to open the steel man cover and to bring him out to safety, but he was weary and asked to drink water. He's all covered up with mud and, I guess, shit. I don't know. He had come to Thailand on May 12th with an American girlfriend on a tourist visa. They both live in a condo on Tapraya Road, around 2 kilometers from the accident location. He said he slipped into the sewer without a cover while walking back to his accommodation in the afternoon. He had no idea where he had fallen and was unable to climb back up. He tried to scream for help, but no one could hear him. So he walked along the sewer and yelled for aid for nearly 4 hours until somebody heard him. That has got to be... That's almost as embarrassing as getting stuck on the side of a mountain and having to scream for help. Mr. Charlie Boonsari, the security guard who first noticed Mr. Jonathan, claimed he had ridden his motorcycle to the side of the road to buy water at the grocery store. At that point, he heard a stranger shout, "Oh, oh." So he turned around to see, but there was no one there. Then he heard the voice again. At this time, he walked back and looked down to peer into the sewer until he noticed a foreigner below. He was stunned and begged others to assist him. According to police investigation, the American man provided little useful details, so they still don't know why he got stranded in the sewer. They will schedule another inquiry. I'm gonna say he's a chowderhead. I know things happen. It doesn't mean he's not a chowderhead. He's a chowderhead, no matter how you slice it. So, we will see if Thai elites, M4 and Putans keep their country just a steady, yeah. However, as progressives, they will add more problems and inflation will spike again. Well, hair up, neck exposed. Told you guys, Scott is a chick magnet. I don't want to be a magnet in this case, honestly. I'm sure she's got a great personality, but I don't care, you know. Hey, fire dude. Hey guys. Could be nobody at the coffee shop. Soon as Scott shows up, watching the background of the streams and women start showing up. Oh. No, it's me. It's all me, man. Come on. Get real. No, it's not. I have no problem meeting people here, meeting women, meeting guys to, you know, just talk to and hang out with. I don't have any problems. It's easy. That's the thing about Thailand. If you're fairly intelligent, you're clean, you don't put people off, it's easy to meet people. You know. What is your view of heroin? What on earth does this have to do with anything, Zach? The Mallon's, what is it? The world according to Mallon? It used to be what? The world according to Garp? Yeah, well, wait until something else is exposed. You get involved in heroin. Generally, people who get, I knew a guy who got involved in shooting up coke. but he did heroin. Once you get to that point, you definitely need help. Most of the time, you're not going to just kick it by yourself because it's, you know, it's a progressive disease. And, you know, you need, if whoever's on it needs to get off it. There's no good that comes from frickin' heroin. Now, I gotta say, what is this guy here? You know, there was the guy who killed the Ukrainian girl the other day. And he's a Polish guy. Let me see something. My internet is so slow. Here he is right here. This guy looks like a real douchebag. I mean, I hate to judge on looks alone. Maybe he was a nice guy at one time and he had his shit together. I don't know. But he just looks like a douche. The Bangkok South Criminal Court denied bail for him. This Polish man who allegedly murdered and dismembered his Ukrainian girlfriend. Jean-Sergei Lagoda Filipov, I'm sure I butchered that name, 25, was arrested on Monday in Sakeo, which I have been to Sakeo long ago. In Aranya Pratet, as he attempted to flee to Cambodia, he's wanted for allegedly murdering and dismembering Alona Savchenko with a handsaw at a high-rise condominium in Bang Kolam district in Bangkok after arriving on a tourist visa April 29th. Wat Phayakrai police later took him into custody, and they can detain him for 12 days. Oh, I think he's already been charged. The case is punishable by the maximum sentence, which I think is death. I think they'll shoot him. Which, if he did it, he needs to be shot. This guy, if you do that to somebody, come on. You don't deserve to be alive. Down low, good morning, good morning. What is this, the 3-day stubble? Because I feel like shit, I'm too lazy to shave. That's why. Honestly. When I don't shave, it's because I'm too lazy. I didn't shave my head. I say I'm going to shave my head every other day, and I didn't shave it for like 3 weeks. Gennaro, pass. I would say pass, okay, honestly. Anyway, let me go on in. What was I going to talk about? Where am I? Oh, this guy looks like a real piece of shit, man. And what kind of person are you if you're like, what makes you so angry? What makes you so angry that you're going to stab and then dismember somebody who you're supposed to like, and you're supposed to be close to, and you're supposed to love? Adam, thank you. You mentioned in another stream about having to use toilet paper when you travel. I hate it too, so I bought a travel bidet. Yeah, we are going to do that as well. We haven't yet. My buddy has a bidet in Ecuador. Yeah, that's the problem. You guys worry about me too much. Worry about yourselves. That's the thing. The world worries about everybody else, but they don't worry about themselves. It's like that's the same thing. What do you think I'm doing here? If everybody worried about themselves and what went on in their own life, I wouldn't be able to talk like this. I'm talking about some other guy who killed someone. We wouldn't have anything to talk about. Her head had nearly been severed. Police also found a 46-centimeter handsaw nearby. That's pretty big. This guy entered Thailand on the tourist visa on April 29th. On Monday, he grabbed a taxi and asked the driver if he could find a store which sold deodorant. So dude comes to Thailand stinking. I don't know if he came from Poland or where he's coming, but he comes stinking. I mean, maybe he just wanted to stop and get some deodorant before he went to his hotel so that he would smell good for his girl. I don't know. I'm just saying, if you really need to go, I mean, really, go buy. Yeah, once you go to the bum gun or bidet, you're never going to go back to toilet paper. To me, the thought of dingleberries is too much for me to bear. Oh, so listen to this. He grabbed a taxi and asked the driver if he could find a store which sold deodorant. He also told the driver he had just murdered his girlfriend and was seeking someone to help him finish dismembering the body. This guy sounds like a nutcase. The taxi driver later told police he initially believed the suspect was joking. I never take that shit lightly. Somebody says they did this or they did that, I take them at their word. Especially something like it. Who jokes about that stuff? It's like, when you're in an airport and you joke about a BOMB. However, when the driver dropped him off at his condo, the suspect kept talking about the murder. The driver said a strong smell of blood came from the suspect while they were in the taxi. He said he told condo staff what the suspect said. Later, they found the victim's body. It's just horrible. Horrible. I would say this is sad. To have your life terminated by some idiot nutcase because you made the wrong choice. This is what I mean. You make the wrong choice in someone, it can cost you your life. Yeah, it might cost you a little money, might give you some headaches. She might give you a bunch of headaches, and make your life miserable for a while. But in some cases, it might cost you your life, Oh, God. No, you know what I find? Most women are attracted to their phones and money. That's how it works. My wife is no different. I mean, she's probably attracted to me in a strange sort of way, still. But, she gets on her phone, it's like, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta look for this. Oh, look at that kitty cat. Look at the little puppy. And I'm like, I don't care. A lot of people send me this kind of stuff. I don't care about it. I don't give a shit. I got other things to deal with. Like sitting there watching the world go by without having to look at some little kitty cat that swipes at a little string or something. I don't know. Anyway, let me go on to, we're going to go on to the red pill, blue pill, all that other kind of stuff. Well, that's the thing. They're human. I got the Kavorka. Oh, God. Kramer has the Kavorka. All right, let me see if I can get to my letter here. All right, so we talked about I'm anxious to see what happens about the weed. Are they going to repeal the weed law? That in itself is a big deal. Normally I would say, I can't see them repealing the law. That's such a big deal. They're going to put so many people out of work, so many business out. They're not going to make as much money. But this is Thailand. In Thailand, things happen that you would never expect. So it's like another George Costanza, another Seinfeld show episode. It's the opposite. So if you think, oh yeah, there's no way they can repeal that law. I don't see it ever happening. There's too much weed around right now. Think opposite. All right, we talked about, I don't like Pumpkinhead taxing. We talked about the lottery winner. All right, red pill. To enable a person to overcome illusion and perceive harsher reality, accepting the truth, whether good or bad. A blue pill. Remaining in the contented experience of ordinary reality with the blue pill. Gynocentrism, an ideological focus on females, Gennaro, and issues affecting them, possibly to the detriment of non-females. I don't know about that. The pink pill. a notional pill taken by femcells who have adopted a nihilistic philosophy that unattractive women will never be sexually or romantically successful. Now that's just horse shit. Think about all the pigs that are married to, they got husbands. Guys are desperate. Guys will screw anything. Some guys. They'll screw anything. I'm talking about they got some chicks pushing 300 pounds. I watched the Anna Nicole Smith story the other day. Because, I still remember her. She was like a little Marilyn Monroe clone. Yeah, you probably should have, Gennaro. She was like a little Marilyn Monroe clone. Well, she wasn't little. But they were talking about her, and when she was young, she had a nice body. She was a nice looking girl. I don't know that I would have went so crazy over her, but she did. She was really into sex, so that's a plus. My kind of woman. But there was a section of the documentary where they were talking about her, and they said she got really heavy. And they said she had to be, and they were talking about it on Howard Stern, where, who's going to get within 5 pounds of what her weight is? She's got to be right up at 300 pounds. Now, a 300-pound woman, for me, I don't care how nice they are. I don't want to be, no, it can't happen for me. I don't want that. You see that they put Martha Stewart on the cover of Sports Illustrated. And they've already got the, what do they call them? Big beautiful women or plus size models, that's what they call them. They're already putting them on the covers. Stop forcing this shit down our throats. Guys don't want that. There might be the guy with the, what do you call it? The fetish, the fatty fetish. I'm not saying they're not nice girls, but it's, it's unhealthy to be like that. And yet they're putting them on the cover of Vogue, the cover of Sports Illustrated, putting them in bikinis. Oh my God. And then you got somebody like, I did a video about this a long time ago, Lena Dunham, who just irks me. She grates me, she's like a cheese grater. And she got in her underwear on Twitter a long time, this is years ago now. She got in her underwear. Then she got pissed when people were calling her a fat pig. Well, what do you expect? All right, the purple pill is the path of poison. Taking the purple pill means you know about the red pill truths, yet deny them or think they won't happen. Yeah, I don't get all this shit. Yeah, I guess if you're, if she's a 300-pound chick and she's all muscle, well, that's a big girl still. She's going to need a guy who's, at least 280, 300. She's going to need a big dude. It's just, to me, I don't know. Talking about Amazonian chick, Down low, that's not very nice. I'm sure you're hurting a lot of people's feelings out there. Groinocentrism. Oh my God. All right, let me continue. She's got a cough too. Well, Gennaro, have you ever had any chubbies? Have you done the chubby exchange? Your loving for their chubbiness? Did you make your way down the pigdom path? Oh God, pigdom path. Oh my God. What is that? What is that? I can't, let me see, I can't see it. Oh, it's a face with biting knuckles. Big Cuddles was her name. Oh God. No, it's just too big, man. I can't even fathom that. Anyway, let's keep talking here. Let's talk about this. Let's talk. Can we talk? Men going their own way. MGTOW. Well, we've talked about this before. Yeah. That's need 3. Manosphere is a collection of websites, blogs, and online forums promoting masculinity. Why do you have to promote it? Why do you have to promote it? How about you just be masculine if you're a man? Oh, because I identify with a pain in the being a pain in the ass. That's what I identify as. Here. Misogyny, promoting masculinity, misogyny, and opposition to feminism. Well, you know, I don't have a problem with equal rights as long as it's warranted. And if you're talking about the WNBA or the women's soccer or something like that, it's not warranted. I don't care what anybody says, and you're never going to sway me on this one. Communities with the manosphere include men's rights activists, incels, involuntary celibates, men going their own way, pickup artists, PUA, and fathers' rights group. Problem is that the courts are skewed in favor of the women nowadays. Let's face facts, at least the courts in the United States. I don't know about in Europe. Oh, man. What if this chick would give me some more hot water? Tea. Let me see. I need some more hot water. Should I call her honey? Will that work? There's nobody here. There's only 2 people working and both of them are gone. Yeah, Cafe Amazon. Let's see here. The Manosphere. Oh, let me get the mic over here. Wait a minute. What? I've been going my own way since I was 17 years old. You know, really. What? This. Listen, I go into other Cafe Amazons. I don't understand what goes on here. I go into other Cafe Amazons, and they are jam-packed with goodies that you can eat and drinks. It's jam-packed with stuff. I come in here, and they, you know, it's like they get a bunch of cakes, and then the cakes run out, and then they don't have them for another. They don't have them for another month. Hang on a second, I gotta sneeze. That felt good. I think maybe a chick had to go use the facilities or something. Yo, yo. Come on, come on. Jesus Christ. I gotta pay for the hot water. Everything that...
Mallon.
Okay. All right. I need to go hot water. Go hot water. All right. Jeez Louise. I thought she was being... I thought she really meant it. She's like, you gotta pay $5 for the water. I was like, what? Need some hot water to soothe my throat. I was like, that's not a very good business practice. He owns the place. Yo, definitely the alpha and only male. Here's a little Asian guy who I'm not going to say his name because some people may know him. And he came over here with a guy, and you know, he's talking about alpha and beta, and what's the other one? besides simp. There's alpha, beta, and what's it called? The sigma. He's like, well, Scott's an alpha. And I'm like, okay, if you say so. You know, it's like all these phrases. Oh, you are this, you are that. Stop fucking hoodwinking me with, what do you call it? Not hoodwinking. Mr. Wong. I don't know who Mr. Wong is. What the hell do you call it? You know, when you get into one, they do it with actors. Like an actor gets a role and then he gets stuck in that role. Everybody remember, like Batman. They remember him about what was it? It wasn't Bruce Lee. Believe me, you guys, if you don't know him if I'm not saying his name. Believe me, never heard of the guy. But if I say his name, you might know who he is. But he's not a star. He's not in the least. What the hell? Stereotype, pigeonholed or stereotyped or whatever. You know, it's like typecast. That's another one. Thank you. You know, it's like typecast. Yeah, that's it. Typecast. Oh, God. All right, let me go on here. The manosphere overlaps with far-right and alt-right communities that has been associated with online harassment. Get the fuck out of here. And has been implicated in radicalizing men to misogynist beliefs and the glorification of violence against women. I've never heard that. What I have heard is guys say, if a girl is punching you in the face, if you can get away, you get away. If you can't get away, you might have to fight back. Bransky, thank you so much. Appreciate that. This is shaping up to be a pretty good month for me. It's the best month for me in 6 months, but I like to make it like my best month ever, and I have a chance at that. So thank you for all the super chats and everything else. Appreciate it. And Michael Lee, you had a lot to do with that. Well, you at least had a fair amount to do with it. Yeah, I'm so woke. Oh my God. You know, the fact that they phrased it woke, it's like, you know, fuck off. Fuck off with your woke bullshit. Stick it up your yin yang. You know, really, I don't care about any of that shit. You tell, oh, my feelings. Guys write shit to me all the time. A guy wrote to me the other day, I don't even want to say what he said. He's such an idiot. And I just think to myself, fuck. You know, stop feeling so much. You know when you feel? When you're in bed with the chick, that's when you feel. Feel a little bit. Then when you're done, you go, hey, you know, towards the best month, a few Aussie pesos or pesos. Thank you, Mr. Dowlow. You weren't on time today, but you were, you know, you were close. That's fine. What's going on here? Yes, I'm having tea today because I have a bit of a sore throat. And like I said, I heard this girl coughing. I've been sneezing. And my wife has been coughing a little bit. She said she has a scratchy throat. There were a couple girls working at the gym who had a cold, and I don't think I came anywhere near them when they were sick because I wasn't there on the day when they got found out. But, you know, it happens, and I'm going to sweat it out today. Anyway, let me go on with our woke conversation. Come on, guys, get woke. I'm the opposite of woke. I'm the antithesis. Violence against women. Who needs to be violent? You don't need to be violent against a woman. For what? I do think some women, and I'm talking about the women that you see in all these videos that punch some guy and the guy just knocks him spark out. I think they need to learn. There's a reason why men are physically stronger and generally can fight better than most women, and I think women need to respect that. They just because a man has this invisible line, well, my mother taught me never to hit a woman, or, if I hit this woman, I'm going to go to jail. All these kind of things doesn't mean the guy won't hit a woman. What it means is he's been taught in a way where generally he will never do that. And I think that's a good thing. But women need to learn that they are not allowed to hit guys or put their hands on guys. And I think, here in Thailand, and I've talked about before, if a Thai guy were to walk up to a Thai woman and grab her hand on the street or grab her by the elbow, and then say, oh, hello, sawadee cup, oh, you're so beautiful, or something like that, the chick would go nuts. They'd be like, fuck off, we need to fight. And, they might fight. They might hit the guy. I don't know. They might smack the guy. Because it's not acceptable in this culture. So when they do it to a foreigner, or me, or they get close like they're gonna, I'm like, get the fuck. I really don't like it. And usually it's not, you're not gonna get some guy, I've been talking about this before, but you're not gonna get some guy who's like, 6'6" and he weighs about 290 and he's like bugging, hey. It's not, those aren't the kind of guys. It's usually some little weasel of a guy. My internet is very slow today. Why? I don't know. Well, I know you would say like to wake up would be like doing non. Let me see if I can find that. Alex might know. He's not woke either, believe me, and neither is Nicholas. Let's see if I can find it. If I can get my internet to work. Get it? Now, am I worried? No, because I've had my 87 COVID shots. My internet is very, very slow. No, Gennaro, you're so far off. It's batting for both sides, if you know what I mean. Plays on both teams. Well, yeah, dun non means to wake up from being asleep, and tun is to wake up, or woke as in wake up. But I don't know. Do they have a? Let me see. I'd like to. Now, the real reason I'm going to the gym today is because I'm supposed to get, believe this, yoga mat. That view isn't so wide. Yeah, well, I'd be happy it's not. You're around here all the time. You see what goes on and who's who. Like I said, 2 teams at once. Grab them by the. Now, I would never do that with a chick I didn't know, or a chick who I just thought was into me. I wouldn't do that unless I knew that all signs were go, and I had like 3 green lights that were flashing, full steam ahead. It's like you're gonna go race right in and barrel over the catcher. That's about the only time I would ever do that. If it's your girlfriend or your wife, that's a different story. This thing it's not working. My internet for some reason is no good. Let's see if I can get it going again here. That's $5. $10, excuse me. Hottie Alert is $10, and what was the other one? Sweaty Betty or something like that? That was $5. That's all it goes. If I had $10 for every time I saw the phrase "hottie alert." I'd be a wealthy man. This is not the one. This is the Polish guy. If you look at this guy, I'm going to put the link in here. Okay, you know what? I don't want to give him any exposure. Sorry. I don't know what a lima is. All I know is it's for both sides. It might have both parts. You know what I'm saying? Which to each his own. And my internet is so slow. It's making it difficult for me. How's this frickin' music? You know, I don't mind like some mellow rock. I don't mind mellow rock. But like sappy love songs, and I'm talking about like, we're talking about the Philippines where they have all this sappy kind of, you know, and in Thailand the same thing, and this kind of shit, I can't handle it. It's too much for me. It's too much. What the hell's going on? Jazz guy is, that's, what's his name? That's Jono. Jono is the big jazz guy. He's a jazz aficionado. Me, I'm a rock kind of guy, man. I like rock and roll. Yeah, tweener. I mean, how hard is it if you say you're playing, the guy's playing for both teams, or he is both teams. He's got all parts from both parties. What does that mean? I don't know how else to say it. Yeah, I don't like it. Glad to hear that, Dowlow. I was thinking about maybe just making this like to where I don't have to, you guys don't have to see me. Unless it's a video where like I'm in a nice place or something. I just put something up, I start talking, boom. You guys can still talk, but you don't see me. I'm chilling. I can be sitting there in my underwear with my feet up on the sofa. It's so much easier for me. I don't have to get myself all beautiful. I don't have to be Mr. Handsome Man. Okay, now let's go on here. Violence against women, no good. Some sources have associated manosphere-based radicalization with mass shootings motivated by misogyny. To me, that's bullshit. That's a bullshit statement. This comes from Wikipedia. That's a bullshit statement because I think that if a man is going to do something, like he's going to engage and be a mass shooter, yeah, he may have been triggered by a woman or women. But I don't think it's the, I think it might be because he's a little off. He's got some problemas. What is this? We went live, but we're naked. Oh, that was a long time ago when my ass was showing. This kind of music doesn't make me feel warm and fuzzy. It makes me want to smack the person singing. Really, I hear this kind of shit, I'm like, shut up. I want to hear some, you know, some rock. And if you go to my Instagram on the stories, you'll see I got two things up. One is of me with one of my yoga instructors. Another one I think I'm stretching out, or I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But I got Thai rock on there. I got Sekloso and I got Body Slam. So I like my rock and roll. Let me just, I don't know what's going on here. Let me read this real quick. Well, maybe not. This is the slowest internet, and I got 4G right now. Let me knock this down. What is this? You know, some guys are just idiots. I feel like I'm at aisle 3 in Lotus. Yeah, I don't like elevator music, and that's what this is. You know, but you know, they're attitude is, well, if you don't like it, don't. And I understand, you don't like it, don't be here. Well, listen, they let me stay here and stream, and I'm not going to complain too much. It's just not my style of music. That's all. Me no likey. All right, let me go on here because I got all kinds of internet problems, but I do have my. Now, I was thinking about something. Remember, who was it? The Spice Girls? Didn't they have a song called like Girl Power, or didn't they start the whole, Girl Power, woo, that kind of shit? How come if men have something where they say manpower, men power? I'm not talking about manpower like as in work. You have plenty of manpower. I'm talking about, hey, guy power. If you were to say something like that, you know damn well somebody's going to call, a bunch of misogynists. Which that doesn't, it's bullshit. Anyway, men already have the power. Powerpuff Girls. Listen, I can't listen to that shit. I never listened to the Spice Girls. Well, I'm trying to think of the one song. Was it the... Yeah, but the thing is that triangles are not going to run the world forever. I can tell you that right now. Men are starting to slowly get their balls back. And I do, one thing I like about, what's the thing I had? Manscaped? I got to buy some more underwear from them. Manscaped underwear. Because I do like their underwear. I'm sure I could find the same thing for cheaper somewhere else, but, quality seems to be pretty good. Those underwear have held up my own sack for many years now. It says on the shirt, your balls will thank you. I'm surprised they got away with that. Yeah, I want classic. Yeah, that's the thing. Well, I am a classic. I'm old school, classic. Pretty soon I'll just be old. That's what it is. I'll just be an old fucker. And people already called me, oh, he's so old, he's out of the loop, he doesn't do any. Listen, what do you think? You think you go into a bar and everything's changed? Ain't nothing changed. What are you, stupid? You pay your money. You get out. You take the girl, you have your fun, you pay her when you're done, you say goodnight. Good night, honey. Good night, sweetie. Imagine Dice Clay coming out right now. In 2023, he makes, I saw him in, what was it, LA Forum or something many years ago. Sometimes I do, but many times much of the time I don't. I feel 60 when I feel like right now my hands are a little bit sore. I'm a little sick. My hips are a little sore. But I'll go and do some yoga. I'll go lift some weights. Or, hit the bag. When I hit the bag, I feel old. And afterwards, when I recover, I feel old. But after I recover, after I have a nap or I sleep for a bit, then I feel refreshed. So I don't think I look 60, and I don't think I really feel 60. Aside from being a bald fuck. But you know what that means? Too much testosterone. Yeah. I'm not one of these guys that people, or one of these guys that girls would call, oh, he's like, what do they call him? What do they call the guy who he's always got to be combing his hair, and he's, like a David Beckham kind of guy. He's always got to be like primping and looking, but he takes care of himself like a woman takes care of himself. I forget what the name of it is. What is it called? I think he's 62 or something. I don't know. He's old as fuck, just like all of us. Usually it's the younger people who never comment, because I get the reports. They tell me, oh, all these young people watch, but they don't, And I get it, because most of the time I never ever comment or even leave a comment on somebody's videos. And ours 60? Oh, well, happy birthday, Janelle. Elated. You should have said something. Had you said something, we would have wished you happy birthday on your birthday. Or the day after or something. Man, I gotta sneeze. Holding it. Anyway, let's get back to this here. So, yeah, why isn't there any, why don't we hear, you know, guy power, dude power? Why don't you hear that? Why do you have to be men going their own way? Listen, I went my own way from the time I was like 16 years old. You know, 16 years old. When I was 16, I told my parents, I don't want to live at home anymore. I want to move out on my own. I want to see the world. They were like, no, you can't. You don't have enough money. They tried to break it down for me. And I went out. I was working part-time. It wasn't enough. So, you know, I was like selling Quaaludes. I was like 16 years old. And, you know, I was gone for like 3-4 days. And my mother found me and basically said, please come home. I don't want you going to jail. I don't want anything happening to you. And I thought about it, and I, you know, being a wise man that I wasn't, I said, okay, probably a good idea I come home. And so I went home. And then when I was 17, I went in the military, and the rest is history. And I did that because I wanted to go my own way. I wanted to do my own thing. Nowadays, I think, you know, I think a lot of guys, they just expect everything to be handed to them on a platter. Just like this shit where, oh, well, you know, all the student loans are going to be wiped out now. I say, what? What about all the people before who had to pay their student loans? Maybe what you do is you say, starting 2026, all universities will be free or something like that. You know, I know that they have to figure that out, but, you know, or the educations will be subsidized or something like that. You know, you pay $200 a term or something, and then the government, I don't know how they can do it. I'm not the answers guy. I don't have the solutions, but I can tell you that this shit where they just go, okay, nobody's going to pay student loans anymore, or when you go in, you can rob the place, but they can't arrest you. That kind of stupid shit. Who are the idiots behind this? I know there's right-wing nutcases out there, just like there are left-wing nutcases out there. But I don't see a lot of these cities that are conservatives, like, you know, ending up like Portland. And where's Zach at? You know, I gave him my take on the heroin, and he never responded. Zach, you're gonna ask a question. You gotta carry on the conversation. Please. Well, you know, the college professors will make nothing. They already don't make a huge amount. I mean, some of them make, okay, all right, well, good. I'm glad to hear that. I mean, really, if, like, you know, if all of a sudden Scotty got involved and, you know, I'm shooting up smack, what was that they called it in China? I forget what it was that, what is it, Mr. The guy that was Elaine's boss. He thought that Elaine was on heroin or something, or opiates. I forget what it was, but, you know, there's all these different, there's all these different terms for it. And, you know, if I was to sink into that, I mean, I'll be honest, I like it when they gave me morphine in the hospital, when they gave me fentanyl. Shit's good, man. You feel good. Of course, I like it. It's good. You don't feel shit. You're numb. You know, but does it do any good for you? Well, if you're in a lot of pain, it does. Most of the time, though, like, what does all this shit do for you? For me, it doesn't do anything. Even drinking, I mean, I don't feel more relaxed. You know, I'm just drinking up the rest of my tequila. I'll probably never buy another bottle of tequila in my life. And there was a time when I really liked um, tequila. I loved it. Now I'm like, eh. And as far as the, I've done some pretty good blow in my day back in Florida. Pink Peruvian flake and all kinds of Colombian shit. What did it do for me? Other than, get me high. Did it make me better? No. It made me some money every once in a while. Every once in a while I ended up, being like, oh shit, it's not making me any money this week. But that was a long time ago and I was stupid. I would never do that again now. I just wouldn't do it. I do like the mentality that, hey, is this good for you? Does it make you better? So I thought, that's why I don't mind being addicted to going to the gym. Yesterday was my day off, right? I didn't stream, and I wasn't going to go to the gym. I thought this is my one day, but I went anyway. Why? I don't know. Maybe just because I'm like, I gotta do it. Yeah, White Lotus, Yam Yam, Shanghai Sally. That's a good one. That's great. Hey, Beeson. Thank you very much. She's great. That girl is great. She's great. I really like her as an instructor. It's very lighthearted, which I like. It's not serious. And I'll be honest, most of the time, there might be 2 or 3 guys, maybe 4 or 5 guys in the class. But most of the time, it's all women. I don't mind that. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if Chucky thinks I'm getting in touch with my feminine side. I just want to be leaner is what I want. And I've already achieved that so far. And in a year, I think you'll see a big difference in me. I've gotten leaner because of Carnival Chronicles, who I always make sure to give thanks to. I'm still eating that. Most of the time, I still eat either I eat either carnivore or I eat keto. Once in a while, I go, Like I'm thinking today, because I got a sore throat, I'm gonna have some soup. And I don't know what I'm gonna have. Hey, thank you, Michael. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Choke D to you guys, all you guys. So that's, what you eat is important. Yes, big ups to both of you. Choke D to both of you. Well, there's times I'm in those yoga classes, I'm crying like a little girl. In fact, yesterday I did something, I go, and everybody in the class was like, there was like 5 girls and 1 guy, and they were all laughing. Everybody was laughing, and I'm like, what are you gonna do? It's the best I can do. I can only do. You got to go to my Instagram stories. I've been putting up some stuff on there. She's very nice. I like the one that I'm going to go see today. Who is the lady who I'm going to see today is who's going to instruct today is 55 years old, and she's 55 years old. Her body is phenomenal. And the girl there's another girl that's 50 in the class, and I'm like, you're 50? I was like, holy shit. So, this stuff works, but the chicks tend to be a lot more limber than the guys. A lot of the guys are like trying to bend over, and they're like, where's the photo? Well, let me show you. I can see if I can find it here. Bunch of horny bastards. I don't know if you can view it without having a. Man, it's so slow. Without having an Instagram account. Of course, Gennaro has to see the photo. He's just got to, show me. There you go, right there. Now, I think the first one, I'm just doing a military press on a machine. Oh, God. I like downward dog. That's a pretty good position. Downward dog is quite good. All right, I'll see what I can do, John. All right, I'm gonna put some stuff up on in my community tab on this channel, and I like I said, I've been working on a VO, but Jesus Christ, I got so many photos and so many videos. I haven't been making videos lately, and so I got so much stuff, and it's like I got to go through all of it, and then I got to put it in chronological order so I know, you know. Anyway, that's the way it goes. Let me see something here. Well, I can't do that. Actually, I like the child pose. That's the one I like. Where you sit back on your feet. Some invited me to go to yoga. Scott, you may be on to something. Listen to me and listen good. And I am dead serious. Muay Thai is difficult. Boxing is difficult. Wrestling, MMA, very difficult. This is difficult in a different way. It's difficult because you're using your core, because you're using internal strength. So, you know, and actually the girl in the picture, yesterday, she's wearing like a half-top shirt, and she's got like a six-pack. I was like, holy, I go, did you get that six-pack from yoga? Well, I used to lift weights more and used to, you know, but maybe she got that, you know, so defined from yoga. And a lot of the yoga instructors, that's how they are. I don't know what back slips. I can't go back all the way like that. My wrists are not, my forearms are pretty, actually you can't tell, but my forearms are pretty big. But I can do the, you know, where am I here? The timer. What is going on where I'm not caught up? Let me see. There we go. Back flips. Not anymore, I can't do them. I used to be able to do them when I was about 21, 22, and it took me a while, but I ended up being able to do it. I can just stand there. I can, however, I have a vertical jump of at least 30 inches, which is not bad for a little short guy. So, you know, I'm not in competition with anybody. It's basically, I forget what the term is, but you know, you go down and you're up like this, and then you go down, and you're doing a table thing where you do the cat, and you know, and then you stretch your leg out, and then you bend your leg forward into your ass, and then you reach back with a hand and grab. I can't do some stuff because of my hip, so I have to be very careful. But some of the stuff, you know, like one side is better than the other because this hip is bad. It doesn't matter. You're not in competition. That's the other thing. It's not like, you know, it's like if you're lifting weights. I'm never going to be as strong as some guy who's 22 years old and he's been lifting for 6 years and he's massive and he's extremely strong. He's, you know, bench pressing 600 pounds. I'm never going to be like that. I don't care, you know. But I can be strong. I can try to be as strong as possible for me. So it's all about me. Me. And I like that. Perfect fit. Instead of Scott doing Muay Thai, we're a bunch of dudes with a bunch of hot chicks. And then you reach out with one hand. You put your leg back like that, and then you're out with one hand. It's good. I like that. Well, it's good because, you know, Muay Thai is very. There's a guy, I can't remember the fighter, but he just said, Muay Thai is pain, and so is boxing. If you want to do boxing and you don't want to do it to where you're, you know, you're just doing like boxercise, it's pain. It hurts. You will hurt. And even yoga can be painful. But man, I mean, like the one girl that's in the picture, she does one class that's difficult, one class that's like a beginner's class. It's just kind of stretching out. I always feel great after that. So I have recorded now. I have a bunch of recorded, you know, poses and routines. So when I'm out and I'm gone on my trip, that's what I'll be doing. Be doing that, push-ups and the usual stuff. Yeah, I knew a chick who was a ballet dancer, Becky, and she was strong, and she used to go, well, I'm old now. She was like 30 at the time. I'm old now, I'm not like some of the girls. But I saw her in a show. She was incredible. It was incredible. She was so strong. And she was skinny, man. She was tiny, you wouldn't think. And I'm telling you, man, some of these younger girls, they probably weigh like 90 pounds, 100 pounds maybe. And they are extremely strong. So, anyway, listen, we didn't get to talk about the red pill, blue pill kind of stuff as much as I wanted to. Maybe tomorrow's stream we'll talk about it a little bit more. I want to talk a little bit about why I think sometimes it's not a good thing, and how some of these guys and some of these channels, you know, I like a lot of what the guy Andrew Tate says, but I don't particularly like the fact that if you're not as rich as he is, then you're a loser. It doesn't mean you're a loser. It's idiotic to think that way. Or, you know, if you don't have a 10 on your arm, you're a loser. That doesn't make you a loser. There's different strokes for different folks. You know, you might think his girl is ugly. He might think your girl is ugly. I heard him say in some little clip that I saw that he thought Thai women were all ugly. That's just what he said. Look it up. Very true. He said that. I don't agree. You know. Anyway. All right, guys. I have got to go. Things to do. Exercise. I need rest today. Places to go. All that good stuff. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. Tomorrow we will talk more about, like what I said, we'll talk more about this manosphere stuff and all that, because I didn't really get to get into it as much as I wanted, you know, because we get a little off track sometimes. Imagine that. Yes. Hey, thanks, Ratsky. Thanks, appreciate it. Yeah, peace out. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Yes, thanks to our talented moderator. Later, Zach. Later, everybody. I will talk to you guys soon.